Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Carmen Bryant, your host of Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you guys so much for all the comments. Forgive me, I have not been on here except for the Sunday live. I haven't been on here during the week because, as you guys know, the conference is coming up on July 31st. So we got 7 more days for the meet and greet. We have 8 more days until the conference, which is July 31st. I don't know when you're going to get the video, but it's a week from now. And so for those of you that are wanting to register, general admissions and online is still open until tomorrow, which is Saturday, the 24th of July. It closes at 11:59. So if you have not gotten your tickets by then, the conference will be closed and you will have to wait until next year when I come to Atlanta. So you guys don't wait to the last minute because I have to do a lot of coordination. So I have not been on and recording any videos because, of course, studying for what I'm presenting, coordinating with the hotel, coordinating with the restaurant, coordinating with people that have registered for online to make sure that everybody has the Zoom link so they can be online. And so you will be, if you're coming there, those are your VIP and general admissions. Those of you that are coming, I get to meet you guys that Friday evening. Those of you that are coming to the meet and greet, and for those that are being the conference, most people that are at the meet and greet will be at the conference on that Saturday. So I will be there in person, and then of course the other presenters will be presented to you on Zoom there at the conference, and so you don't want to miss out. And so that brings me to, I just wanted to come on really quick because I have a client, so I have to be leery of the time. I have a client that I have to check in with, but I wanted to come on because I was thinking of something, and especially while I was doing my studying for what I was going to present. Some of the things I'm going to talk about is parental styles. What kind of homes you came from and what was the parenting like. Believe it or not, not all narcissists come from narcissistic homes. Some narcissists are created by well-meaning parents that was just, you have to come to the conference to understand the parenting styles. Some narcissists were actually created by well-meaning parents or parents that had their own issues, and that ended up, the child ended up developing narcissistic personality disorder because of the parenting style they came from. So not every narcissist came from a home that had a narcissistic parent. And I'm going to expound on that during the conference, and I'm going to break down different parenting styles. And like I said, not all parents are narcissists. Some parents have mental health issues. Some parents have other issues going on in life. And this is from the homes that you may have come from, or unconsciously or without realizing it, unless someone presents you with some information where you can relate, oh my gosh, this is what I'm doing, and you can change that. Narcissists are not going to change. So that lets you know that when you are presented with some information and you get the understanding of the information that you are presented, it gives you an idea of, dang, I need to change this, or now I understand why my children are like this or behave like this, or this is what and those of you that are young parents, this is the parenting style that I have, and this is why I am the way that I am because of where I come from and what my mother or father went through. And it's not a justification, because once you have that information, you are responsible for what you do with that information. Dr. Cindy Trim said, education, when you get education, which is higher education, high school education will teach you what to think, but it doesn't teach you how to think. And one of the things that she says, that's why Jesus taught in parables, because he made the disciples think. And so even in what I present you with information. This is some information, but it's your responsibility to apply that information. You can have people go to college all day long and get a college degree, but until they learn how to apply that, and they're able to use critical thinking. People go through things, pretty resilient. And so I want you to be able to think. And one of the things, as I was sitting and writing, I started thinking about, a lot of you, whether you say it verbally or you're thinking it unconsciously, or your life is kind of, your life, if you look at your life actually tells what you're thinking. And a lot of things that you may be thinking unconsciously or consciously is, I'm never enough. You have dealt with abandonment issues from childhood, rejection issues from childhood because of the type of parent you may have had or the parenting style they had. So you may have suffered with abandonment or rejection issues. You never got enough. You never physically and emotionally, your parents were not there for you. And so you grew up always assuming that I am not enough to make someone want to stay. I am not enough to make someone want to love me. And you end up getting into a relationship with a toxic individual, in this case, a narcissist, and you are always never enough. But all it did was water that thought you had from childhood or growing up, always thinking you're not enough. So it just solidified that in your mind. But you have to remember this one thing, and this is what my mentor ministered on yesterday. This is the conversations that we have. And the most important thing is if you can see it, you can have it. That's why you have visions. They're called, in the world of professionalism, it's called a business plan. In order you create a business, you got to have a direction at which your business is going to go. What's the point of starting a business and you have no vision for the business? I'm going to start a business. Well, what is your business going to be? I don't know, just a business. You don't have any direction. You don't even have a vision for you. All you know is you want to start a business, but you have no vision. You have no vision inside you. You haven't seen anything yet. But once you can take something and put it in your mind, that's why it's so easy for a narcissist to create imagery in your head. And then you live off of the imagery that they have placed in your head. They know that. That's something else I'm going to be talking about at the conference. I'm going to talk about the 5 senses. I'm going to talk about your love languages. I'm going to talk about imagery and how they do that and how you're living off of imagery, off of what they've said. Just like Dr. Cindy, I keep going back because that teaching was really great. You have to go look for it. I'm trying to think what the name of it was. How to Think, I think it is, or something like that. Just go look up Dr. Cindy Trim. But the biggest thing is just like she said, which we know in the world of psychology, sometimes we just don't think about it. But you don't think in words. You think in images. You'll see something in your head and then your brain processes the language or the words to put to the image that's in your head. And some of you guys, I hear it all the time. I'll never recover from this. I don't ever see myself getting out of this situation. I'm on disability. I depend on this individual. They paid. I don't know how to do this. I'm too old to get a job. There's nowhere for me to go. I just can't see it. Well, you can't see it, so you don't have a vision in your head. You don't have an image in your head. So you're going to be exactly where you see yourself, right there where you're at. But it doesn't matter what other people say to you, but once you see it in your head, you can pursue it. And if you want to get out of that relationship, it doesn't matter what your situation is. There are different agencies to assist you in getting out of that situation. Those of you that are on disability, for example, they do have, like here, they have APS, which is Adult Protective Services, and with Adult Protective Services, emotional abuse is included. Financial abuse is included. Medical abuse is included. So if they don't allow you to go anywhere, or if they don't allow you to go to your medical appointments, or they abuse you financially, and you call Adult Protective Services. You are on disability. That means you are disabled. That means APS here in the state of Washington. I don't know anywhere else, but here in the state of Washington, that means that you are also protective. You have elders, older adults that are disabled or elder abuse, so a lot of times we cut off, and then a lot of times people won't even reach out to advocates. Well, they're not going to work for me. How do you know? You never tried it. Well, I tried it one time and it didn't work. So go try it another 5 times. If you want something bad enough, you can make that happen. You try and try again. A lot of plans, you fail at the plan, you learn resiliency, and you learn what to do or what not to do next time, or you keep pursuing what it is. If you want out, you can get out. And yes, for some people, it's very, very complicated. Some of you have a lot of children. You can't just jump up and leave. And that's why I tell you guys, make sure you find legal advice. Don't just jump up when people say you just leave. A lot of people, in the comments, just get up and go. Okay, that's bad advice. Because number one, if you have children by the narcissist, a narcissist loves to use the courtroom as a place of acting. They get their biggest honors in the courtroom because they know how to act. a fool and they know how to act like the victim. And oh my gosh, you were the monster and you know that you're escaping from the monsters. You can't just get your kids and just run out of there, because then they can get you for kidnapping. That legally they still have the right to your children, your children together. So they have legal rights as a parent. And so it is best to speak to an advocate or someone within the legal field to make sure that you have the legal information to help escape out of your situation. If you need to go into hiding, if you need to be put into a temporary housing program with your children, you can't just get up and take the kids. That's kidnapping. You get legal advice and they'll tell you how to do it. They have it on record so that they can't get you for kidnapping. So don't listen to everybody's advice when they tell you, well, you just need to get up and go. That's insensitive, because they don't know your situation. They don't know what you're going through. They don't know exactly what is happening. Just like people that are disabled, those people that totally 100% depend on them financially, you can't just, where are you going to go? You're going to get up and go. Where are you going to go? Even if you don't have family around, where are you going to go? So it'd be wise you make plans. Change the way that you're thinking first. As long as you're thinking this is never going to work, I'm never going to get out of here, it ain't time for you to get up and go nowhere then, because your mind is not set. You have to change the way that you're thinking. You have to change your mindset in order to get free from the trauma. There are many people, and I've been here for almost 3 years, I think, and there are many people that said that they couldn't do it in the very beginning. And then after all these years, they're like, I'm glad I made up my mind. Sometimes you got to get fed up and make up your mind. Make up your mind and finally get out of there. And a lot of people that I've spoke to, coached, and counseled said, I can't believe I am where I am at. And years ago, I could never see myself there. But they finally saw themselves somewhere else. You got to change the imagery in your head. Narcissists are good at changing imagery and changing your narrative. And then you live off of their imagery and their narrative they put in your head. That is not free real estate. That is not free real estate. You just don't live in my real estate for free. It just doesn't work that way. You just not, and that's how you have to think it. You're not going to live in my real estate for free. You're living rent free in my head. You're a squatter, so get the squatter out of your head and start looking for your own thoughts. A lot of people, what are my own thoughts? Exactly. That's why you need to be at the conference so we can talk about that. And I'm going to break it down. See, most people assume that we're just going to be a narcissist. Well, you guys got all these videos right here. I talk about narcissists all the time. Let's go to the root of the problem. We're going to get to the root of the problem. We're going to talk about some things. Some people are manipulative and they're not even narcissists. Some people have parenting issues, or they have problems raising their children, and some of them are not actually narcissists. But as I begin to explain it, you can actually plug in the narcissist and it'll make sense to you, because to break it down to bite sizes helps you to understand the whole picture of what is happening. It also gives you some ammunition to help you understand how to fight this, how to get yourself out of it, and how to heal. So hopefully you guys will have the opportunity. Tomorrow is the last day of registration, 11:59, Saturday, July 24th, 2021, and registration will be closed. Please do not email me. And do not show up at the door. The people that are there to assist me will not let you in, unfortunately, because we have to have a head count and everything is done in decency and in order. And if you missed it, we'll just see each other in Atlanta 2022. So I'll be in Atlanta in 2022. That I am so looking forward to it. Please also make sure you go and look at my mentor's YouTube channel. Subscribe to her channel, because she provides you with information about narcissist abuse from a spiritual and biblical perspective. She is the presiding prelate, or what you will call the senior pastor of our church, Into His Chambers Global Ministry. So those of you that are looking for a church home temporarily, or you need something, don't leave your church. If that is who feeds you, you stay there. But if you want something to augment, or you don't have anywhere, those of you that are Christian and do believe, she's also a pastor. She's a senior pastor, and she has many ministries under her, and she has other churches that she leads, even overseas in Africa. And so she is well versed in being able to 30 plus years of ministry. I think she is well equipped to explain to you about this type of abuse and these type of people and the spiritual and biblical perspective behind it. You have people like the Honorable Bishop R.C. Blakes. He talks about relationship. Ladies, go listen to him. He talks about relationship. He speaks from a father's perspective to give you guys not just hope, but to see how much you are valued. My big sister, Kathy Gibson, she talks about the value, your value. Put these teaching together, value. You got Telsha with the T on NPD. You go listen to her. Now she a firecracker. And she gonna make you laugh because she's gonna talk about them birds. That's what she gonna talk about. But listen to us. Change your imagery and change change your perspective. Once you start changing your perspective, you're gonna change your direction. And so hopefully, hold on, you guys. Let me make sure my client is not logged in. I have to make sure. Don't want to be late, but change your perspective. Change what's going into your head. It takes a minute when you have lived this way for so many years. That's why it's so imperative. If you guys can get to the conference, if you guys can register for the conference, I highly recommend you do that. You got to be there. I'm gonna break it down to you. We're gonna get to like the old folks say, the root. We're gonna get to the root of the problem. You got to hit the root in order to kill all the other weeds. How do you kill a tree? You can't, if you chop the tree down, it'll start growing again. Look at some of the trees that have been chopped down, but have never had the roots killed. You see the little green leaves start sprouting because the tree is still alive. The top part of it is gone, but the tree is still alive. It's still breathing, it's still eating, it's still growing. And some of you guys keep cutting down this tree, but you're not hitting the root of the issues. And the root of the issues is not particularly the narcissist that you were with. And it may be from the root of your upbringing, the root of where you come from, the root of how you were raised. And some of us raised our children the best way we could, not understanding what we were going through ourselves in our homes and how we were raised, and from that parenting, how it resulted in our reactions and how we connected to people. And some of you have a very toxic connection to people. Some of you are people pleasers. Some of you, not people pleasers, not just people pleasers. Some of you guys are empaths. Empaths are not born. Empaths are created by trauma. That's a chemical, there's a chemical difference in you than it is any other person. Some people develop narcissistic personality disorder. Some people develop PTSD, borderline personality, psychopath, sociopath, which is now known as antisocial personality disorder. So I'm telling you guys, I think this is a really good conference. You guys really should be there. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissistic Abuse. Share. I'll give you pieces and clips of the conference, but I won't give you all of it. And so I'll give you pieces and clips to let you see what you missed, and especially the limo ride and going over to the restaurant, and some of the conversation and the people that are there with us. And just I want to see a smile. So my vision for you guys is every year that when you come, that you feel like kings and queens, you feel like you're being catered to, you feel good, you can dress up, you can be pretty again, you can put some lipstick on them lips, on them chapped lips. Instead of just some chapstick on them ashy lips, you can put some lipstick on. You want to put some eyelashes on, put some pretty jewelry on, and come out and just be wonderful, be great like you are. And that's the ambiance that I want to create for you guys, because you matter and you are enough. Just because you weren't enough, or you thought you weren't enough in your family, that had nothing to do with you. That has something to do with the dysfunctional people that you're with. And just because you were in a narcissistic relationship doesn't mean you're not enough. A narcissist is a walking empty pit. It's like a seagull stomach, or a trash compactor. They're never satisfied, and they never get full. And it doesn't matter what you do, you'll never satisfy them. And no matter how you try, you're still running off the narrative of your childhood as you were growing up. I'm never enough. I'm never good enough for someone to stay with me. I'm never enough for someone to love me and stay with me. That's because of the choice of people that you chose. They're just as dysfunctional. And so dysfunctional people create dysfunction. Toxic people create toxic relationship and toxic families. Hurting people are going to hurt people. Even victims and survivors are hurting people, and they have sometimes become very toxic themselves. It's very hard, especially as a therapist and a coach, to work with, believe it or not, to work with survivors. Because some survivors, some of y'all are just ruthless. Some of y'all mean. Some of you just mean. And, you got somebody to hang in there with you, but some of y'all mean. Some of you got a mouth on you. If I could, I just, but that's not the type of person I am. Maybe. But I wouldn't touch you. But like in the military, I used to tell them soldiers, there's always one. All them years I was in the military, there's always one. There's always one. I ain't never put my hands on a soldier, but you could be the one today. I used to say that for years and never put my hands on none of my soldiers except to hug them and say goodbye. So you guys make sure you subscribe to my channel, share, go check out my my mother's channel, Helen Sadler, Your Destiny Helper. My big sister, she'll be coming up with her YouTube channel. You can find her on HAPS, HAPPS. Go look for the app in your I think it's your download, wherever you download if your iPhone and your download, go look at HAPPS. HAPPS, HAPS, and then go look for, you can look for Helen Sadler, you can, and that's the church, or Facebook, you can find Helen Sadler or Into His Chambers Global Ministries, and then my sister, Kathy Gibson, you can find her in HAPS, and I think on Facebook, you can find her on Facebook and Instagram, and then make sure you check out, what else, did I miss anything? I think I didn't miss anything. And those of you that are looking for coaching, you are welcome to contact me at drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. And I will provide you with coaching fees if you are looking for coaching. If you're looking for counseling, I cannot provide counseling for those outside the state of Washington, only inside the state of Washington. Please do not send me these extended emails. I don't have time to read all those. That right there means that you want a consultation. And so if you want a consultation and an appointment, I do send my rates. I don't have time to, that's a lot. That's a lot of information. Remember, I talk to people all day long, every day, 24 hours, well, I'm going to say 24 hours, every day, all day long. So when you send me these long emails, what you're saying is you don't value me. You need an appointment with me so that I can sit down and focus directly on you. That's what you're asking for. So if you need an appointment, drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. And then also for those of you that need counseling that are outside the state of Washington, I do partner with BetterHelp.com. I do receive commission. However, at the same time, these are some excellent counselors that you have in each one of your states. They are licensed within your state, even Canada. And I've heard wonderful things about different counselors. Miss Arlene, she would give a counselor's name. I can't think of the counselor's name, but in Canada, there's a particular, counselor that was well-versed in narcissist abuse, and she really had, a lot of people have said some excellent things about BetterHelp. So you can go to betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen, and they'll give you a 10% discount. If you're having financial issues, let them know. They may provide you with the grant. Grant doesn't mean you get it for free. Grant just means you get it for less than what they're already offering. And the prices that they're offering, the rates that they're offering for counseling is way less than I charge as a counselor. And so, that's a blessing, really. So please go check out betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen and check out the counselors. Get you some counseling. Some of you need counseling before you get coaching. Counseling when you deal with mental health and PTSD and trauma. Some of you need counseling. Some of you guys need some straight lawyers. That's what you need. But counseling, get counseling first, then find a coach. The coach is going to coach you. It's like a football coach, basketball coach. They coach you into where you're trying to go. There's a plan. You're going somewhere. The coach is going to coach you there. But when you deal with mental health and emotional health, as a counselor, betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful day. Go be great, and I'll see you next week.